I'm Dan Larson, and this is Marvel Legends Cull Obsidian Wave Black Knight in 4 inches or less. Black Knight is a 6-inch scale action figure from the Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure wave. Cull Obsidian is a super alien bad guy rolling with Thanos in the new Avengers Infinity War movie. Buying Black Knight will also get you one of Cull Obsidian's legs. Full disclosure, I don't know anything about the Black Knight as an Avenger, heck, even as a comic book character at all. The only thing I know about him is that he's one of those characters that started out as a bad guy, then ended up becoming a good guy. The best of the good, in fact, a full-on Avenger, and later also a West Coast Avenger, if I'm not mistaken. And normally I would look this kind of stuff up, but this time it really truly doesn't matter. Bad guy, good guy, awesome guy, hero to all, despised, it does not matter for the purpose of reviewing this figure. Because this figure, while not without faults, is, and I use this term sparingly, totally awesome. It is wicked super sweet, bordering on a full-blown case of shut up and take my money. It's the kind of figure that shakes me out of my workaday stupor, my walking through life slumber, and reminds me why I like action figures in the first place. I don't think I can even pin it down to one thing. Is it the Batwing helmet? Is it the 3 different helmets? Is it the scale mail armor? Is it the Batwing helmet? Black Knight has standard Marvel Legends articulation because look, I know this is a bunch of recycled parts, but let me throw this back at you. Is it possible that this is the figure that was intended all along, and all those other figures are the figures made out of parts recycled from him? Maybe you fell for the recycled figure when you bought Dread Knight, when the intent all along was to produce this little baby gem. It doesn't matter, recycled parts aren't a bad thing. It's really the only way a line like this can survive for so long and still be financially viable. Since when do we care about recycled parts anyway? It's about the characters. As long as cool characters are being delivered, who cares if the parts are recycled? Heck, if you really want to be as true as possible to the comic book counterparts, most of their looks are recycled anyway. There's some structural issues with this figure, my figure at least. I love that the head is 2 parts, so there's no paint bleed, and it looks like it's a head inside the helmet as it should, but his neck is a little loose. His shoulders don't have a full range of movement. This thing here in front limits his leg range of movement a bit, and the cape doesn't really stay on perfectly. The sheath on his hip, whether accurate or not, is just going to lead to his sword getting all bent out of shape, so I don't know if that really works. And while I appreciate the inclusion of 2 alternate helmet designs, I fear that this figure is going to be incredibly difficult to find as people, not me, some other cats, buy up multiple samples so that they can army build or display all 3 helmeted versions of this figure at the same time. We're going to end up with a shortage of figures and a glut of heads on the secondary market. Good news, you should be able to pick up extra heads on the cheap. I love the color scheme, I love the metallic touches, I love his eagle insignia, I love that it feels like a Dungeons & Dragons action figure but is totally supposed to be a superhero Avenger guy. It's a bunch of things I love, all in one place on one figure. The only thing that could have made this better is if they found a way to include his lightsaber and bomber jacket from that sweet, sweet, terrible, but also kind of awesome 90s version. Black Knight is going to be a top 10 figure of 2018 for me easily, so if you see it, buy it, and if you see 2, leave 1 for the next collector. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Share this video with anyone who might like action figures. If you're in the position to help the channel grow, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/toygalaxy and let us know down in the comments below what figure just makes you happy. Something that you just can't put into words and don't care what anybody else thinks about it. I am happy to say that there are lots that have that effect on me, and I'm glad to add this Black Knight, it's on the couch over here, this Black Knight to that list. Trust me.